Welcome to The Outlet, an OTG production.
What's up, NBA fans? Welcome to another edition of The Outlet. With me, as always, Parth.
Hey, man. What's going on, Nick?
I'm doing well, Parth, getting ready into these rankings. If you guys didn't know, NBA Preview Edition. And our next team in the rankings, the Minnesota Timberwolves. They're coming at number 27, and another lottery season may be ahead of them. But before we start, just shout out to Flip Saunders. Hope he gets well soon. And here's one clip of the Timberwolves from last season.
Wiggins had so many highlight-type dunks this past season, and this one's not just over any big man. It's over the Stifle Tower, Mr. Rudy Gobert.
Honestly, that's a crazy dunk. Gobert arguably might be the best rim protector in the NBA, and Wiggins throws down on him. So it just screams about the potential of Wiggins, and that if he's able to throw down on the top rim protector in the NBA, an average center is going to have a hard time blocking a shot.
He also got him again in the same game, and he did it off 1 foot. Gobert did get revenge by rejecting him once, but Wiggins got him off 2 feet and off 1 foot. So he's a versatile jumper.
He's explosive. He didn't test at the NBA Combine, but with his personal trainer, he recorded the highest vertical out of any NBA rookie that season.
Insane potential, insane ceiling.
Potential MVP candidate in the future. And do you think this is a fair ranking for the Timberwolves?
You know, I think it is a fair ranking. They did get Karl-Anthony Towns in the draft, so I think they'll be improved from last year, but the West is just so tough. And of course, being in the Western Conference, they'll play a majority of their games against Western Conference opponents. And I don't think they'll be able to keep up.
Yeah, they have a lot of potential. They have a lot of good young players, but they're a few years away. I don't think necessarily this season they're ready to compete in the West, but in the future, they should be set up for a nice little dynasty possibly. So another lottery season, but the future is bright for them.
The crazy thing is if they were in the East, I think we'd rate them a lot higher. Just because their schedule would be a little bit easier. They could probably get some more wins. But being in the Western Conference, I think they'll have a rough time.
Agreed. So let's get into some of the key returners and offseason moves. So obviously the most important returner, Andrew Wiggins. Like we said, potential MVP candidate. Zach LaVine, Ricky Rubio. Some guys. Who sticks out to you? Who do you think is going to have a big season for the Timberwolves?
I think Wiggins will really take another step this upcoming season with a full offseason, and he doesn't have to deal with trade rumors or anything like that like he did last year. I think he'll really get down and focus and really improve this summer and have a huge monster season next year.
Yeah, he definitely showed potential. The end of last season, he started to even really pick it up. He's become one of my FanDuel favorites. One thing I like about Wiggins, he has a lot of potential at the defensive end as well. And like you said, offseason, maybe add some size to help him deal with the NBA players. Could be a big year for Andrew Wiggins.
I think Zach LaVine's also due for a big season. He over the summer league, he proved that he could hit the long ball. He's not just a dunker. But what I do think he needs to improve on is finishing in the lane. If he doesn't finish with the dunk, he kind of struggles around the basket.
Yeah, Zach LaVine, he could have a big season as well. He finished strong at the end of last season. Ricky Rubio was hurt. LaVine showed he could hit a three-pointer. Like you said, he hit some threes in summer league. But agreed, he has to work on finishing in the lane without a dunk, work on his touch in the paint.
And imagine how happy Ricky Rubio is right now. He can dish the ball to Karl-Anthony Towns, Andrew Wiggins, Zach LaVine. These are assists. His assist numbers are going to go through the roof this season.
That's going to be one fun fast break to watch. You don't even know what side the alley-oop's coming from. You got Wiggins, you got LaVine, then maybe a late run down the field. You got Towns. So a lot of highlight plays in Minnesota this season. But let's talk about some of the offseason moves they made. They obviously drafted Karl-Anthony Towns, Tyus Jones. They picked up an international player. They added some veterans. What do you like?
I think the Karl-Anthony Towns pick was great. He's a versatile big man, and he gets to learn under the big ticket Kevin Garnett. So I think it'll only help his game improve even more quickly than he would without KG.
Yeah, KG's a great mentor, and Towns has even had some KG comparisons. You know, KG worked well with Mason Plumlee. His rookie season was able to have an impact. So KG brings a lot to the team, even though necessarily his talent is as good as it used to be, but just as a veteran leadership. I also like the Tyus Jones. He's a hometown guy. He's from Minnesota, so I think he could show some potential in the future as well.
I'm not as big on Tyus Jones as you probably are. I do like the Andre Miller pickup is good, just because Ricky Rubio's been hurt the last couple of seasons with the ACL. And what did he have last year? Did he roll his ankle or had ankle
Yeah,
issues?
he always has ankle issues, I feel like, so probably.
Right. So I think having a capable backup that can run the team in Andre Miller is a good pickup. And also Tayshaun Prince. I think his defensive IQ and prowess maybe won't be seen on the court, but it'll definitely be seen within Andrew Wiggins' game as he improves.
Just the professionalism from those three, KG, Tayshaun Prince, Andre Miller, they're going to help mentor these young players into NBA professionals. And they're going to come in, play hard. KG's not going to take any nonsense in practice. I think we've all heard the crazy stories about him. So just having those guys, I think, is going to elevate these players' talent sooner, and they're going to be able to impact the NBA.
Right. And the thing with that is these guys are all from winning teams. They've won before.
Mm-hmm.
And so having these young guys who haven't won, and especially I think Russell, who one of our writers, Russell, wrote about this in his power rankings, his future power rankings. And he wrote that in the last 8 seasons, Minnesota's lost 489 games or something along those lines. It's an incredible number for just 8 seasons. And a lot of these players have been used to losing. And so having that winning mentality back in the locker room, I think will definitely help this team grow.
100% agree with that. I think that'll have a nice impact for them. What moves do you not like from the Timberwolves this offseason?
I think I'm not they did a good job with their moves. There's nothing I frown upon. I think losing Chase Budinger, Justin Hamilton, Robbie Hummel, Gary Neal. I mean, they were fringe players anyway on this roster. So I think their additions really outweigh their losses.
I 100% agree. I think they had a great offseason. Even though they're ranked low, I think for the future, they've made some great moves. Chase Budinger never really worked out there. He had a ton of injuries. Justin Hamilton is lucky to be a role player in the NBA. Robbie Hummel, he didn't really do much. And Gary Neal, he'll probably be happier where he is. But they added some great pieces, some veterans, and some great young talent. So a good offseason for the Timberwolves. So let's get into the X factor for this upcoming season. Who's your X factor for the Timberwolves?
I think for them to take the next step, Andrew Wiggins will be there doing rookie of the year things in his second year. And I think Karl-Anthony Towns will be a really strong candidate for rookie of the year. But my X factor pick is Zach LaVine. I think he has the athleticism and the skill to really take the next step. It remains to be seen, though. He's known strictly as a dunker at this point by most NBA fans, but I think he's ready to show that his game has really developed this offseason.
Yeah, he definitely showed some potential last season in skills other than dunking. I mean, he had, I want to say a 30-point game. He jacked up a couple threes that went through. And FanDuel, he was really able to pick it up. So LaVine, I think if he works hard, he can really take that next step with that athleticism. It's a great combo. So I'm going to go as my X factor, though, not a specific player, but shooting. The Timberwolves, I think, came in last in three-pointers made last season and the bottom half of the league in three-pointer percentage. So I think they really need someone to step up as a shooter to open up the paint for guys like Wiggins to get in there and LaVine to throw down some dunks.
Yeah, this team was ranked 25th in offensive rating and 30th in defensive rating. So I think that defense will really, really help them out.
Yeah, actually, you know what I like about Towns too is I think the Timberwolves came in the bottom of the league, like 27th or so in blocks per game, and add Towns. That's a nice rim protector right there. So there's no reason to not expect him to average a block or two in his first season in the NBA.
And we know KG brings that defensive intensity. I think that'll be infectious throughout the team.
Exactly. He'll let you know if you're not playing defense right. So best case scenario for the Timberwolves.
Well, I think for them, they need to lose again this season. I believe I believe Boston holds their pick. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I believe it's protected. It's lottery protected, so they need to make sure they stay in the lottery and they can pick up another high level talent.
Agreed. I think they need to get in the lottery. Like you said, their pick is to Boston. I think it's protected either lottery or 1 through 12, something along those lines. So having a bad record helps them to keep their pick. And they just want the young guys to develop. Like we mentioned, other teams, you just want to see the young players take the next step. You don't necessarily need to win games, but just the development to go through. Worst case scenario for the Timberwolves.
I think you hit it on the head with the development. I don't think they'll win many games because they're in the West, but I think if their players aren't able to develop, I think that really sets them back.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Worst case scenario, none of their players are able to develop jump shots, and they have all these guys who are able to score in the paint, but there's no floor spacing. And as we know in the NBA nowadays, that's a huge factor. So you want to see the development of the players from the three-point line. So let's get into one of our favorite segments, The Truth. And today's emoji is a little camera film because the Timberwolves are going to be a highlight reel all season.
That fast break is going to be incredible. Ricky Rubio bringing up the ball, Levine on one side, Wiggins on the other, and Karl Anthony Towns trailing. Dunks will
City.
be insane. Yeah.
It should be an entertaining season. And like we've mentioned, the Timberwolves don't necessarily play great defense, so there'll be highlights on the other end too. A lot of back and forth basketball. All NBA fans can enjoy that. And Parth, I know we mentioned this is your first season with League Pass. You going to watch the Timberwolves?
The Timberwolves will be my #1 League Pass team. Absolutely, I'm watching the Minnesota Timberwolves. They only have 5 national TV games, so if you want to watch the Timberwolves, League Pass is the way to go, and I will be watching.
They'll be my late night special. If you guys didn't know, I live on the East Coast, so I'll catch the Timberwolves late at night, catch a few dunks, watch Levine and Wiggins, the Bounce Bros or whatever they're called nowadays. But another question for you, Parth. Would you rather watch the Timberwolves or the naked dating reality show?
Dating Naked. I actually caught an episode last night, and it was hilarious. But I won't be watching it again, so I'm watching Minnesota Timberwolves on League Pass.
Oh, and Timberwolves are victorious. So thank you guys for listening. And a hint for our next team is a team that might pull a rabbit out of their hat to get into the playoffs.